The next thing is regarding the bloat, how to approach a case of bloat. In bloat, there are two conditions. One thing is the free gas bloat and frothy bloat. So understand, one thing is free gas bloat. So free gas bloat means when you put a stomach tube, immediately the gas will be released and the left paralympic fossa will be sunken. Okay. So what is bloat? When there is any tympany, bloat is otherwise called as tympany. That is a distended rumen. There is a distension of the left paralympic fossa. Distension of the left paralympic fossa is called bloat or tympany. So that is termed as two things: free gas bloat and frothy bloat. Free gas bloat etiology is sometimes any choke material. So any foreign body get obstructed in the esophagus, like vegetables, beetroot, potato, or whatever may be the things gets obstructed in the esophagus, that will lead to choke. So because of the choke, the rumen gas is not gets liberated, so it gets tympany. So acute tympany will be noticed. So when you remove the choke, you can relieve the gas. So when you put the stomach tube, gas will be released freely. So that is occur only in free gas bloat. So when you are putting the stomach tube and you are not getting relieved the gas from the rumen, it could be a frothy bloat. So it will be a frothy bloat. This is why you can able to very easily differentiate the conditions. You may be studying bloat in the textbook, the etiology and other all conditions is well and good, but clinically you can term it very simple: free gas and frothy bloat. And sometimes when we are having in tetanus also, whenever you introduce the stomach tube, immediately the gas will be liberated. After 1 hour or 2 hours, again the tympany will be present. So you have to rule out the signs of tetanus also. These are all regarding the free gas and recurrent tympany. In some cases, you will be having recurrent tympany again and again. Sometimes you put the stomach tube and you will be relieving the gas, and sometimes again it will have. Otherwise, you will be treating for some bloat with anti-bloat agents. Again, the animal will be having recurrent bloat. You have to think about diaphragmatic hernia and non-penetrating foreign body in the woman. And sometimes the pastoral bloat, all these things lead to pastoral bloat, lead to frothy bloat. Okay. Sometimes there may be some obstruction in the cardia. So mainly because of amphistomes. I have seen some cases because of amphistomes also, you used to get sometimes recurrent tympany. So for example, amphistomes, they are immature amphistomes, they are present in the duodenum. So after doing maturation process, the mature amphistomes, they will reach the rumen. All these matured amphistomes, they will sit in the rumen wall, they will stick onto the rumen wall, and they will stick onto the cardia. So when they are obstructing, when they are sitting on the cardia, they get obstructed and they will prevent the eructation process. So the animal will be having recurrent tympany. In such a cases, if you are treating that animals with oxyclosanide, it will respond very well for the treatment. Oxyclosanide 18.7 milligram or 18.5 milligram per kg body weight. Once in 48 hours, 2 doses means it will work well. So you have to differentiate each and every conditions by clinical examination. How will you identify it is due to amphistomes? When you put the stomach tube and you are getting the rumen content, in the rumen content you can able to see the small, like a pink color organisms, like a pomegranate. When you open a pomegranate, there will be a pink color thing inside, the same thing like objects, it will be having jumping here and there in the rumen content. It will be jumping in the rumen content, so that you can easily find that is nothing but mature amphistomes. So these are all very simple to diagnose the condition. So for example, in a free gas bloat, so the animal is having choked material in the esophagus, means that naturally the animal will be having extended neck. The neck will be extended with the profuse salivation will be there. The animal will tendency to have frequent jerky coughing, and because of the obstruction, there will be tympany, acute tympany will be there. The animal will be having respiratory distress. So extended neck with salivation and the frequent cough, jerking cough, you have to think about choke material, any choke in there, and you have to palpate the esophagus. And always the veterinarians, they will mistake by palpating the trachea. So here, when you palpate the trachea, so you will be feeling the Adam's apple here, and whatever you feel, the same thing you in mind, it will imagine as if you are palpating. See, for example, if you are thinking as something potato like this, means when you palpate, you will be seeing some potato like I think got obstructed here in this area. So here is a trachea. So behind the trachea is the esophagus. So you should not palpate or press the trachea. Behind the trachea is the esophagus. There you have to palpate and find out what is the material which is get obstructed. Then you can introduce the stomach tube slowly it will go to a particular area and get struck, and there you can see, you can palpate very easily. Then with the help of the stomach, with the help of the mouth gag only, you have to remove the this one, foreign body. Otherwise, what will happen? You should not put your hand inside the oral cavity of the cattle anyway. So sometimes whenever the farmer says some potato or some foreign body gets obstructed in the esophagus, they will say we will catch the hold the oral cavity. You can take the obstructed material. They used to say you should not put your hand at any cost. So only with the help of the Gunther's mouth gag only you have to put your hand inside. Otherwise, you should not put your hand inside the oral cavity. It will, the sharp molar teeth will bite your hand and you will lose your fingers. Okay, that you have to take care. So the animal is restless. You can give, you can sedate the animal with 0.25 ml or 0.5 ml of xylazine, and the diazepam can also be given 1 or 2 ml slow IV, so that the esophagus gets relaxed. The animal can be restrained well. Then you put the mouth gag, ask 2 persons to hold it. Then you can put your hand deep inside the oral cavity and you can reach the esophagus. One person, you will be pressing the foreign body from the downward position and bring it to the proximal end. Then you can catch hold of the foreign body and you can easily take away. It's a very simple procedure. Once you have done it, means it is very easy to relieve the choked material. So this is regarding the choked material which leads to free gas bloat. So without mouth gag, you should not do the procedure. Okay, that is the take-home point. See here, it's a recurrent tympany, persistent tympany. When you put the stomach tube, the gas will be released. Again, it will come. See the animal is having distended left parallel lumbar fossa, and see the ear of the animal, it's erected, and it is a case of tetanus. So it's not having full clinical signs. So locked jaw is not there. Now only the clinical signs are progressing. So by seeing this type of erected ears and extended neck, recurrent tympany, you rule out the possibilities of tetanus also, so that you can diagnose it very easily. See here also, the erected ears are there, the recurrent tympany is there. The animal while walking, and when it is turning, it will turn like a toy, as a sawhorse appearance, and it will turn like a toy, and you can very well easily appreciate the clinical signs. So some of the practitioners, they used to, in case of tympany, they used to put the trocarant needle in to relieve the gas. Of course, we can do it. In which case we can put the trocarant cannula or needle puncture in the rumen? Only in case of free gas bloat. So in frothy bloat, there is no need of putting the trocarant cannula or the needle, because in frothy bloat, when you put the trocarant cannula, the gas won't be liberated. Okay, that we have to take care. See here, frothy bloat. So when you are introducing the stomach tube and seeing the rumen content, when you are introducing the stomach tube and taking the rumen content, and the rumen content is not coming out freely as if the watery in nature, it will be semi-solid in nature because of the feeding pattern. So it won't come out. So you have to take the other end and you have to put it down on the kidney tray, and you can see the rumen content which is having small frothy like bubbles are there. Small frothy like bubbles are there. This is nothing but frothy bloat. It's a clear case of frothy bloat. Very easy to diagnose. Okay. So when the animal is having tympany, this type of animal, when they are having tympany, there is no need of putting the trocarant cannula. So of course, trocarant cannula is a life-saving one, but it is in the case of free gas bloat. When it is having frothy bloat, if you do the procurization or put the needle, or even if you are pressing the rumen, the gas won't be getting liberated. Why? The reason, the rumen, all the gases are trapped in the bubbles, air bubbles, and trapped inside, and it is not getting liberated. You have to liberate, you have to coalesce the air bubbles by administration of some anti-bloat agents. Then only the air will be liberated. So there is no need of doing procurization in case of frothy bloat. So regarding the line of treatment in the frothy bloat, you can give liquid paraffin, 500 ml to 1 liter you can give, and you can give antacids, magnesium hydroxide or aluminum hydroxide preparations which contains silicone dimethicone. So many of the veterinarians, they used to give 1 bottle silicone dimethicone, just 1 bottle, 100 ml orally. It is not at all sufficient for a large, very huge rumen vat. So you have to give minimum 400 to 500 ml oral administration should be needed. Or otherwise, you can go for an administration of vegetable oils, coconut oil, or any vegetable oil can be drenched without any aspiration. So these three are the choice of treating the frothy bloat, but don't combine all these three things. You should not administer liquid paraffin, antacids, and the vegetable oils. You do any one. You select any one according to your availability and the comfort. And all the antacids with the silicon dimethicone are commercially available in the market that you can very well use. Okay, or vegetable oil or liquid paraffin. Whichever you are drenching, make ensure it should not get aspirated. That is the most important thing. So many of the veterinarians, they used to treat all these things, but there won't be any immediate recovery or any other result oriented may not be there. So what is the reason? Because they would have not preferred for fluid therapy. So you have to go for fluid therapy. Fluid therapy is a must. Sometimes the frothy bloat may be combined with ruminal acidosis. In that condition, you have to go for sodium bicarbonate with the normal saline. Or only frothy bloat is there, you can go for electrolyte, balanced electrolyte solutions. Ringer lactate, you can give 5 liters or 6 liters of fluids. So I will tell you how to give. So 5 liters or 6 liters of fluid in the field conditions, how it is possible. Now we are having large animal infusion IV set is available. Within 10 minutes, you can give 5 liters of fluids. I'll show the IV set picture that you can get it. So here you can give silicon dimethicone with antacids, 500 ml, and the fluid therapy, and the result oriented will be very nice. Within 6 to 8 hours, you can have the drastic reduction in the bloat. The animal will recover normally. So during the treatment process and the follow-up, you have to advise the owner not to keep the animal in the lying down. Go for recumbency, because during the acute tympany in the frothy bloat, when the animal is going for recumbency, this rumen will go and press the diaphragm, and sometimes it will lead to asphyxia and the death of the animal. So how to make the animal stand means you have to stabilize you correct the dehydration, the animal will become normal and it will be in the standing posture. Some veterinarians used to advise putting a stick in the oral cavity. Just put a stick in the oral cavity and tie it, and the animal will be going on chewing the stick. That will lead to salivation. The salivation will enhance the maintaining the rumen buffer mechanism, and it will be having a very good effect in maintaining the rumen pH and rumen buffer mechanism. So it will prevent, it will reduce the frothiness very easily. So when after administration of this one silicon dimethicone, after 6 to 8 hours, you will be getting the difference. If there is a tympany is there, you go for another dose of after 8 hours and fluid therapy. Recurrent tympany, after treating the frothy bloat, recurrent tympany means, as I already told, you rule out diaphragmatic hernia and non-penetrating foreign body. These two things, vagal indentation. These three things you have to keep it in mind. Diaphragmatic hernia and vagal indentation, you have to keep it in mind. Otherwise, if it is a feed-oriented frothy bloat, with this above treatment, the animal will recover in 1 or 2 days.